Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Feels good, huh, mate?
Yo, you should have seen my face I was making.
I'm gonna see it if you're recording.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this dude.
It feels amazing to clap, doesn't it?
I guess, yeah,
It's empowering,
pretty
right?
amazing.
It's pretty good,
pretty,
mate.
pretty empowering.
I'm showing that in the podcast. I don't care.
My fucking face, bro. Yo, no, don't do it. It's not funny.
Hey, what's up, guys? Mortimer here, and welcome to another episode of Gamers Corner, coming at you guys a week early. We're joined by the one, the only, Salty Rootbeer and the Blind Prophet. Let's get right into it, boys.
I will sleep in this episode.
Yo.
We're gonna talk about our upcoming games that we're looking for. I hate you so much. Why did you put them in our podcast? What am I paying you for?
I don't know, man.
You're paying him?
No, I'm talking to my secretary to my right.
I want a paycheck.
Hi, you sleep on the job. You get no pay.
It's a running gag.
Okay, so we're going to talk about our upcoming games that we're most hyped up for. You know, everybody's gonna live
Our most anticipated upcoming games going into 2019, as well as just, in the future, what we're looking forward to.
This podcast would literally just be my face right now, I swear, dude.
Just him talking to himself in a mirror.
Yeah, that's pretty much YouTube, dude. Instead of it being a mirror, it's a freaking mirror that plays what you did endlessly.
Okay. Who wants to start first?
You need a little bit of help there? Okay. This is awkward. I am excited for Metro Exodus.
Oh, dude, same, brother.
It comes out on the 14th, I believe.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, it's right around the corner, dude. I need some money.
I still need to pre-order that.
I have negative 40 in my bank account, so that's not happening.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account.
I got $20 in pocket.
I haven't even played the previous Metro games.
Dude, the previous Metro games, think Fallout, but it's in Russian. Like, it's in the Russian Metro system. It's like it's underground. A lot of like subterranean areas. And there's a lot of horror aspects to it. Like, Metro isn't really a gung-ho action game or even an RPG.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what I would call it. You have like very limited amounts of ammo and throwables and weapons in general. And almost all of them are like makeshift in appearance. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stealth involved in the gameplay. I don't know. It's a really intense game with a really good atmosphere, and that's like the best thing that those games are known for, is their atmosphere.
Gotcha.
Metro Exodus takes it out from the Metro. It's like a big open world, like pseudo open world type deal.
Yeah.
The whole story is you're on a train. I actually don't know the story, but the premise is that you're on a train, this big armored train, and you go through trying to get to this rumored city that exists above ground. And there's just like a bunch of stuff that you have to deal with along the way. I've seen some of the enemy types, and terrifying, man.
Like a lot of like those giant rats or whatever.
Those exist, yeah, but I'm talking about like the mutants up on the surface.
I have not seen those.
Like they're weird mutated
they almost
zombies.
Look like zombies. Like there was one part where they like almost look like boulders for a second, and then they just jump out of nowhere. Dude,
there's this one scene I've seen in the gameplay trailer.
Scene that I've seen. I don't know if you know.
Shut, or I will fall asleep. There's like 3 or 4 of these things
to sleep or not
clinging to a door, and they're trying to get it open. They're like acting all bestial and everything, and it was just like a weird interaction in the environment. With like the enemies actually just doing things instead of just walking around or spawning in as soon as you get into the door.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're terrifying, dude.
Yeah, Like me just watching the gameplay trailer, it looked amazing. Like the graphics look awesome, the environment looks amazing. Like it looks like a legit first-person shooter. Like the fact that I don't know the story or anything about it, and just looking at the gameplay trailer, that makes me want to play it. Like I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has a style to it. I'm not familiar with the Metro franchise, and I wasn't really looking forward to this one. But it is very aesthetic, and if I were to pick it up, I'm pretty sure I would love it just for that, the visuals.
Yeah. Right now, let me check Steam. You can get the they're like remastered versions of Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. If you guys haven't played the Metro games and you're excited for them, I would seriously
Money's tight.
recommend, because each of these are like $5 right now. You could get both of them for $10. Maybe with Metro 2033 you might want to get the original instead of the Redux. I'm not sure. Like there's some like bugs, like graphical bugs and stuff involved with the 2033 Redux, but Last Light Redux for me ran just fine, and the original 2033 is fine as well. I mean, it's a little... Wait, is it not available anymore?
I don't know. I can't even afford a $10 game right now.
Wait a second. No, you can't even get the originals on Steam anymore. I don't know. They're good games, so they deserve playing. I've played through both. I've played through Last Light 3 times, and I played through 2033 twice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good franchise. They're based on Russian novelists' Metro series. A series of novels really popular there.
Yeah, Big Easy wanted to get into those.
Yeah, Metro's good.
Yeah, isn't he looking forward to it also?
Huh?
I believe so, yeah. Because those are like his favorite.
Okay.
I want to say his favorite books or game. I don't know. I remember he really wanted to get the books at one point. So I'm pretty sure he's looking forward to that one. It's Russian. Loves anything Russian.
In Soviet Russia, in America, man wants dog. In Soviet Russia, dog wants man.
Just cue the Russian national anthem.
Yeah,
Aside from Metro Exodus, what immediately comes to mind, or rather what I'm looking at on screen right now, Jump Force is something I'm excited for.
Oh, dude, freaking Weeaboo Battle Royale.
I'm just a freaking nerd.
Dude, same.
There's tons of anime characters. I know nothing about how the game actually is going to play, and I don't really have any comments on it. All I know is that it is going to exist on the 12th of this month, so in 4 days.
Oh, shit.
Dude,
out.
I'm so broke. I need a job for all these games.
Really want to play it. So,
yeah.
And then there's Far Cry New Dawn.
You're excited for that?
Sort of. I don't know. It's like it's the first time they've released a direct sequel to a Far Cry game. It's like the whole premise is that like one of the endings in Far Cry 5, which I haven't played yet because I'm broke. There's a nuke, like a holocaust, like a nuclear holocaust that happened. And New Dawn is just like directly at like 17 years after that. And so it looks like the post-apocalyptic Far Cry. So I'm kind of excited. It's a new type of setting for that franchise.
Yeah, I wasn't really like, again, aesthetically, that game looks really dope. Like, it's gorgeous.
It really does.
The guns have that like sort of homemade, sort of like tinkered with and modified look, especially with like some of the reticles and stuff, the optics. But the game itself, like I wasn't really interested. I don't feel compelled to put down just even the $40 for a reskin of the same map and everything that we got last year. You know,
I don't know. I look at it and the thing I think of is Rage, and that's why I'm excited for it. To be honest,
that game is old, huh?
Dude, Rage is completely underrated. People should play it, but it shouldn't cost as much as it does. I think even let me check Steam actually. I think even at $20, it might be a little too much, just because of the amount of content it has. Oh, it's $3.29. It's on sale right now for $3.29.
Oh my.
I'd recommend it. It's a good game. It's it just doesn't have as much content as what its launching asking price was. But anyway, that would bring me into my next topic in a bit. But yeah, that's why I'm excited for New Dawn, for any degree. Just because it reminds me of Rage, and I could do with more of that. And then I don't really think there's anything else that I'm excited for the rest of this year, except for Rage 2, which
I was just about to say you're not excited for Rage 2.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I can't mention Far Cry New Dawn
without mentioning Rage
2. Like, that's impossible. I'm really happy for Rage 2. I don't know when it's coming out.
Oh, May 14th.
May 14th.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Dude, I am excited for that. Like, that's one of the big games that I'm excited for. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Rage 2. Yeah, Rage 2. That and Crackdown 3, which comes out this month. And the only reason I'm excited for that is because you can blow up entire cities. I know nothing else about it other than fuck. I don't even know his name. It's the actor that plays
Terry
the old
Crews.
specials. Yeah,
Power?
Terry Crews. Yeah, he plays as like one of the main characters in that.
Power!
He's a voice actor. Yeah. Yeah, that's it for me. I don't really have much.
Nerds!
All right, you go then. You go. I want to hear what you're anticipating.
Hold on, I might as well say the ones that I know we have in common. Alright, so this is not even an
No, don't ruin mine.
Starting it off of mine, Cyberpunk 2077, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking pretty forward to
I forgot that one.
You know,
I
don't know why, but like Blind Prophet, he's not really hyped for it. You know, he's been saying that he doesn't really like the game. Like he even made like a rant video about Cyberpunk 2077. Like I don't understand why there's so much hate against the game. You know, like why do you hate the game so much, Tony?
Yeah, Tony, this is an intervention. Why do you hate Cyberpunk so much?
What are you talking about?
Why do you claim that CD Projekt Red is the Hitler of video game industry?
Yeah, what the hell?
Why did you say that? This is a quote from Blind Prophet. He said, I quote, CD Projekt Red is worse than the Holocaust and should not exist. You did.
No, I never said that.
Yep.
I said that Cyberpunk 2077 is my most anticipated game going into 2019.
You heard that?
My most anticipated game. Nothing.
Misquote.
I've never been more excited for a game.
Did you guys hear the anti in there?
Yeah. He's very anti-hype.
Dude, this game is everything.
He's lying so much that he's shaking in his chair.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Yeah.
I wish I could see his face right now.
I wish you could see what just happened right now.
Dude, he peed his pants. He knows.
But yeah, like Cyberpunk 2077, it looks like it's gonna be a super dope game. And like, you know, shout out to the Blind Prophet for making his How to Prepare for Cyberpunk 2077 video, guys. Click on the link in the description, check that video. It's a really great video. If you want to know how to get ready for Cyberpunk 2077, he's your guy. Anywho, Tony, tell us what we need to know about Cyberpunk. Why should we be hyped?
Cyberpunk is basically just like that 80s nostalgia for me, because watching movies like Blade Runner or Total Recall, even though that came out in 1990, just stuff like that, RoboCop, set in that world, this movie is everything and more. Not movie, game is everything and more, because you get to experience it. And like one of the points I made in the video, where most of those movies take the side of law enforcement, this game you're going to be playing on the side of crime, similar to GTA, where you'll have more freedom. You can pretty much do whatever we want. So it's just literally, I've been watching the demo since it came out every couple weeks, and just always finding something else that I love about it. And again, they always have that work in progress does not represent the final look of the game, so maybe it will change and go through the normal development stuff. But for the most part, if it retains any of this that it's already showing to be, it'll probably one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm going all out. I'm getting the collector's edition on this game. I've never done that for any game before. So
Hates the
I'm
game.
just, I end up hating it. I end up being CD Projekt Red is basically Nazi Germany.
You're terrible.
Yeah, but
Move it on.
I don't know. I don't know how I couldn't have brought up 2077. I guess I just am not as hyped for it. I mean, I've never played The Witcher, so I don't really know. Like,
no,
Project Red's
it's not even
style.
about that for me. I never played The Witcher either. Like that's a game that
Same.
right now it's on sale for Steam, and I was thinking about getting it. It's just that world. That world captivates everything that I grew up with. Like I say, like Total Recall and Running Man. What do you call it? Freaking Fifth Element, like all those movies, Blade Runner. I'm just such a big movie buff, and especially when it comes to the 80s, genre and early 90s, like stuff like that. Just this game is all of that combined,
Yeah.
Fair enough, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Marcus?
What I'm looking forward to in Cyberpunk 2077? Dude, it's just...
Yeah.
Dude, like, it's a... Like, you already got started off with the most obvious thing. It looks like a dope first-person shooter. Like, I know I use it a lot, but, like, the fact that you have slow motion, the multiple guns... The thing that gets me the most is, like, the choices that you can make, freaking... Even just as little as who you're gonna wake up to the next day. Like, that's so awesome. I just love choices with games where you can have a different outcome and different stuff for other people, where there's different dialogue choices. Like, I'm a sucker for those games. That's why Telltale is, like, my favorite game company, and they make my favorite games because they have the choices, the dialogue choices, and everything.
Yeah.
And like those are just my type of games, and for it to be a first person shooter, and it's like it's awesome, and like I love really cool cars, and you're gonna have some dope vehicles in there. It's like dope vehicles, first person shooters, choices, dialogue choices, futuristic freaking upgrades, like just customized. It's awesome. It's
Yeah, no, it and I know a lot of people are, and I was in the beginning as well when we heard that after the trailer that it was going to be exclusively first person, and we all were thinking like, wait, how can you do that? Like, we want third person. After watching this gameplay demo so many times, it's kind of hard to envision it in third person. So yeah, again, with you bringing up the point of first person, that's also a really captivating thing, because that's a departure from how they made The Witcher. The Witcher was in third person.
Mm-hmm.
So it really looks to be
I feel like
one of the
best.
best.
Better first person because like how immersive it is, like you getting your upgrades, like putting
that
like,
was their point. That was their main point is immersion. You'll be fully immersed with the first person, which I agree with. I don't see how aesthetically this game would be as immersive in third person. You might be able to play it like GTA. GTA is known for the third person mechanics. But even GTA put in first person, which,
there's just too much stuff in that game to the point where just when you think about it, first person would be better. Like when you get a new eyeball, you would see it, and just running around, and like it'd probably be pretty lame to see that slow motion drug in third person. Like the fact that you can see the character actually taking the slow mo drug and actually doing stuff. You are the character.
Like on the grounds of immersiveness, I haven't played Red Dead 2, but I'm pretty sure that has been like hailed for its immersiveness, like the feel of it. I don't know if the first-person decision that CD Projekt Red made for Cyberpunk 2077 had anything to do with those types of things. I mean, even with the slow-mo thing, the slow-mo, Max Payne did that really well. I know that much. I think it's just a decision they made to like fit with their themes and like maybe tell their story a different way than they did with The Witcher. I don't know.
No. I think it plays in part with the world. I think if you were, because look at Red Dead, how open of a world that is. The immersion is better held because it's so open. Everything is around in far proximity. In Cyberpunk 2077, everything's so condensed. It would be kind of hard to maybe
I guess work the camera.
Work the camera sometimes.
Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they wanted freedom to decide how to style their cities.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
the
it
environment's the way they want.
it could be debated all day if it would work in third person, but I think they made the right call. I think to make it, first person exclusively, unless when you're driving, I think that was the right call.
Well, you can go first person while you're driving. I'm pretty sure.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's exclusive until you start driving.
yeah.
You can go third
I
person.
don't have any problem with that decision. I was just trying to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, more. Let's hear the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about Cyberpunk for a while. You have any others?
Yeah, Blind Prophet's a racist. He's not looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Stop it! No.
Racist against
No.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Freaking right there, man. Right there. It's number 2, man. Ghost of Tsushima. Man.
Before I tell you guys how much
No.
Tony hates it, make sure you guys click on his channel and link in the description to watch his How to Prepare for Ghost of Tsushima. Tony, how should we prepare for that? Why should we be hyped for that game?
What is going on, you guys? It's the Blind Prophet, and today I wanted to bring a list similar to last week's where I broke down medias in the same genre to hold you over for the eventual release of Cyberpunk 2077. But this time for the samurai game we've all been asking for.
Description to watch his How to Prepare for Ghost of Tsushima. Tony, how should we prepare for that? Why should we be hyped for that game?
We should be hyped for Ghost of Tsunami.
Look at that. No, you can't.
Wow,
No.
we hate it so much I didn't remember the name.
No, you don't get to say that. That is my thing.
Ghosts of Tsunami? Is
Yeah.
that a joke that you guys came up with?
That's
Yeah.
when he was making his video. I think pretty much like this, but in a video, he had been trying to say Ghost of Tsushima, and he was like Ghost of Tsunami.
Ghost of Sushi.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think we should mainly be excited for Ghost of Tsushima because it's something we've never gotten before. We've pretty much gotten a game like Cyberpunk 2077 within Deus Ex and stuff like that. So
What exactly is Ghost of Tsushima? Like,
Ghost
if you don't
of-
mind me asking.
Ghost of Tsushima, the way that I put it, is the Assassin's Creed game that every Assassin's Creed fan has been asking for. It's a samurai game set in feudal Japan during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima. So it follows like Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan's cousin, his pretty much campaign to take over the archipelago. So it follows that, but it's not like a game like Neo or Sekiro or whatever that other one is called, where
Like Souls-like?
yeah, where it plays into like Japanese fantasy or like yokai and all that. This game is very grounded. It's going to be focusing solely on the samurai way of life and Japan as a like Tsushima as the setting, and it's just nothing we've gotten before. We've never gotten a fully legit like samurai game, and Sucker Punch, the developers, have really been adamant on like, we're gonna try to make you feel as much like a samurai as possible during that time. So even you could see that in the combat. There's a moment where the main protagonist Jin, he's facing against 3 Mongols, and one of them starts to inch towards him, and he goes for his katana, and he just kind of holds it there, and then the Mongol kind of advances on him, and boom, just that clean, swift, classic samurai move.
Stop quoting your freaking video word by word, you robot. God,
We haven't really gotten any games like this. This is somewhat what we've been asking for from Assassin's Creed, because this fits that style. It's just a fully grounded, explorable game with truly authentic looking samurai combat. I mean, there's that part in the gameplay demo where Jin pulls out his katana in one swift motion, and we get that classic just one swift kill.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
That's how many times I had to read it over, man.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Blind Prophet's.
Yeah, welcome to
podcast,
the Blind Prophet.
the plug cast.
Plug guys, yeah, for real.
But yeah, just and we'll also be seeing implementation of Shinobi ninja elements as well when we see him like
Ninja.
scale certain buildings, and he used like a not a rappel but like a grappling hook.
Yeah, grappling hook.
So I'm excited for that as well. You know, it's not going to just hold itself to completely samurai elements. We'll be seeing other things as well, but just in regards to game, we've never gotten that. We've never gotten a fully fledged samurai game that's as grounded as that. And I'm excited. I grew up with Sucker Punch's games like Sly Cooper.
Not even AC Odyssey, bro.
So
how much RPG is in there? I'm pretty sure you can find some samurai.
I don't know yet if
No,
they've
it's a joke. The
confirmed
game's
it.
trash.
I don't know if they've confirmed if we'll be getting RPG elements.
Are you better not, dude?
I honestly I don't really care what they've shown, because Cyberpunk's going to be RPG, and I'm not big into RPGs, but the way that they've shown it looks pretty cool.
I don't know. Like with a historically accurate video game, I don't think RPG elements, like with the certain RPG elements, I don't think certain of elements of that type of franchise would fit really well with it. Like it wouldn't immerse you very well. Imagine getting a sword and you use that sword and you stab through someone's throats, and then they just like get back up and start fighting you again. Like that's not.
It definitely. I don't see it being RPG, but with Sucker Punch's style, especially in the Infamous games, the more you played, the more abilities and stuff you unlock.
Yeah, that's
so I
totally
think
fine.
maybe
I mean,
like that,
they did Infamous. Shit, I forgot that.
I mean, like
Yeah,
RPG, like enemies, like when like you gotta be a certain level to beat this guy.
So I could see maybe stuff like that, like maybe there's like more enemies that like are armored or something, like certain things that make it feel RPG-esque, but there's no like loot or upgrade system to like where you're underpowered if you're not level 30, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could see with their style, but they also have said that this is a departure from their, you know, superhero games. This is going to be a fully grounded game based in historical accuracy as well, which was kind of funny. When I was making my list for how to prepare for Ghost of Tsushima, I had brought up The Last Samurai, and somebody had commented that like, oh my god, that movie is like so historically like shit. And I was like, well, it's just, you know, more so to prepare in the samurai way of life. But
you trying to prepare me with false information?
They have said that they're trying to go as historically accurate as possible.
Real quick. Your thing is 4 views away from breaking 500.
The Ghost of Tsushima?
Yes, dude. Your Cyberpunk's at 408, man.
Dude, holy crap, Taki mushrooms, dude.
For real, man.
Saki's giving us a little bit of
You're clearly guaranteed to have over 1,000 views combined with both of those in like a couple of days, less than a week for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Hold on, let me tweet this video out for you. Let me post it on Reddit, dude. I gotta hype it up even more.
But yeah, just to wrap that up, Ghost of Tsushima is definitely my second. Cyberpunk 2077 is my first. Ghost of Tsushima is right there as my second. Ghost of Tsushima was my first before Cyberpunk was released their trailers. So Ghost of Tsushima is definitely a number 2.
People have been waiting for Cyberpunk for years, dude.
Yeah, and I wasn't really excited when I saw that first trailer with the chick that was getting shot at. It didn't really interest me because I had never known the tabletop games by Mike Pondsmith. So I didn't really understand what was going on with that. But once I saw the reveal trailer, the cinematic trailer, I was like, oh, dude, whoa. And then once I saw the gameplay demo, I was like, oh, dude, that's hot. So I was definitely excited. And I felt bad for Ghost of Tsushima because I was like, forget you, dude. if Cyberpunk comes out before you, I'm never playing it. But I probably will. So,
dude, what about Days Gone?
Oh, dude, that's on my list too. You're a son of a bitch.
You're a son of a bitch.
You're a son of a bitch. Think about it.
Go ahead and talk about why you're excited for it then.
Well, I'm excited for Days Gone. It's a zombie game. What else is there to say? The fuck?
You know, that's really not accurate.
Oh my god, my bad. Infected.
It's a zombie game, so that's the only reason I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know. I'm excited because it, like, I don't know much about it, but it looks like you can use the environment and even the zombies in certain ways.
Oh!
To, like,
but
get further on.
I don't know about that one. So
Like, they had a gameplay
ain't it.
trailer. Yeah, they had a gameplay trailer where there was a bunch of zombies locked behind a gate. And it was like a camp of dudes with guns that were trying to kill you. And the main character, he, like, shoots the lock on the gates. And the zombies break out from behind the wall. And they just run after and just kill all of the dudes with the guns. And then you can, like, get around them that way. Like, it looks really interesting. Because the zombies are, like, not as much of an enemy as they are a part of the environment. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, and they've been showing a lot of stuff recently. Like, there was a trailer basically talking about what you're saying, the world and the environment and how you can combat it and use it to your advantage.
Oh, yeah.
And then they also showed something else a while back too, like I guess the map, like how there's differences in the biomes and stuff. So when that was announced and we got the trailer for that, I was excited for that because I was still kind of on that like World War Z craze, and it was very reminiscent of that with how many of the creepers or walkers, whatever they want to call it, runners, screamers, they were like just so many. It really reminded me of like World War Z, like how you would see them.
That's another thing.
In that. But yeah, like same thing with like Ghost of Tsushima. Once Ghost of Tsushima, and then once Cyberpunk, that game just fell further down my list.
I don't know. Like, it looks like it can breathe new life into the zombie genre.
I was gonna say, like, that's another thing. Like, the zombie genre feels kind of dead. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
ironically,
Yeah.
it feels like an ingrained part of video games at this point. Like, I don't think that it could ever die. Pardon the pun.
but I think that's just the point. Like what you're saying, like maybe it just needs to be done right. Maybe something needs to be done to revitalize. Because once we did get the actual World War Z game, nobody's talking about that.
I mean,
nobody cares about that right now.
The World War Z game was based on a movie. That was a fucking video game tie-in for a movie, a licensed product. Those things are almost always bad. I don't know. People are still talking about Resident Evil even now, and they just released the remastered edition of Resident Evil 2, which, from all I know, is really good. I kind of want to get it, and that's the only time in years that I've been that excited about a horror game.
Yeah.
Like, if it's done right, I think it's as fresh as it
Resident
could.
Evil 2 was done right as a horror game.
God, dude, I've seen a lot of gameplay trailers and a lot of analysis and reviews. I'm not too upset about spoiling myself because experiencing it's always going to be a lot more impactful than reading about it or watching videos. I don't know.
Resident Evil 2 kind of pissed me off though.
Why? Huh?
So,
Huh?
how so?
Because since 2015 and the reveal for one of my other anticipated games, my third most anticipated game, Resident Evil 2 showed how like this could be done. This could be done right. Which is Final Fantasy VII, the remake. And I got pissed off. I got pissed off because like where's mine? You know, I didn't even know Resident Evil 2 was getting a remake. And Final Fantasy VII is like stuck in like, I don't know if it's development hell
It's development
or
hell, I'm pretty sure. It's
like
a combination of development hell and like problems with like management and supervisory like difficulties. I don't know.
They revealed like a teaser at E3 2015, and since then we haven't really got. And they missed such a good opportunity with 2017. They could have released it on the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII's release when it was released in 1997. So it's like they missed such a good opportunity. Maybe if they're going off of that, they could probably hit the 25th anniversary, but that wouldn't be till what, 2022?
2022, dude.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's another thing I'm excited for.
Smack about Resident Evil 2, man.
But yeah, no, Resident Evil 2 showed like, you know, with the sounds and just how nostalgic it was. That's basically how Final Fantasy VII could be, you know? So Resident Evil 2 made me more excited, but it made me, you know, angry. Like, dang it, why haven't we gotten it yet? You know.
Speaking of remasters, sorry to cut in here. maybe I shouldn't cut in here yet.
No, go ahead.
You're saying because my
Did
what I'm saying is probably gonna like change the conversation.
No, go ahead. Let's go.
Speaking of remasters, it looks like there is a new. It's a Crash Team Racing remaster coming out in June. Wow. Okay,
I did not know about that.
Died
Wait.
a lot faster than I thought it would. Yeah, there's a Crash
Oh yeah.
CTR. It's a remaster. Sort of in the same vein as the Crash Insane trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out in June, I guess. I didn't know about that either. Well, now I do. And now you do.
That's crazy.
It's weird.
Here,
All right, Major Marquez.
Hold on, someone's banging on my window like they're gonna steal something.
Is it a bird?
Somebody's banging on the window. Oh no.
Let me in.
Oh no. They're here.
Back's yours.
Well, hello, Bat. I am
Huh?
Bat.
What happened?
I don't know who the fuck that was. I wasn't gonna open the door. I ain't trying to die,
heard
baby.
I heard the alarm go off. I think.
Nah, I'm not.
No, it was just the security system or like the lock or whatever.
Well, anywho, what were we talking about? Resident Evil 2?
No, I see the title of this video. Why you cheat while they're killing your games? Oh no, Korean barbecue. Why?
I'm not as good as analyzing video games as other people here. I just make weird burps and say that I'm hyped for a game and then move on.
Okay, so the next one that I'm hyped for is MK21 British Savage.
MK21. MKX. Wait, no.
Wait,
XL?
you're stupid.
Or no?
No, XL is literally MKX, but all the DLC.
Oh yeah. MKXS.
What is this?
Oh my God.
XR.
MK11, Jesus, you dumb retard. How to not prepare for
Oh,
MK11?
I'm actually looking at it right now. Mortal Kombat 11?
Yes.
As long as I don't put in $1 easy to use finishers like they did in Mortal Kombat 10, then I think it should be fine.
What do you mean?
Yo,
you use
if they
finishers?
put freaking
So that's a thing in the with Mortal Kombat 10. I don't know if they got rid of it at some point.
Where we
but
like hold two buttons and you do a finisher?
you could you could fucking pay for a consumable use of a finisher. All you had to do was hit it to use it, and it cost you 99 cents a pop, and you could buy them in bundles. And like there was even a one where you could get like 100 for $100, and that's not a joke. I wish it was, but it's not.
I played MKX. I have not seen that at one time. Dylan, you son of a bitch.
dealing. That's because some damn fool accused you of being the best.
Alright, so since we got MK21 out the way, The Last of Us 2. Oh, I'm just.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god, dude. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why the Blind Prophet has such a terrible taste in like video games, dude. Like, why would you not be hyped for The Last of Us 2? Man, he even hated The Last of Us 1, dude. Like he said,
Oh my
the
God,
story was so
dude.
unrealistic. The characters had poor development. The zombies weren't realistic. The clickers weren't scary. Like, it was stupid. Like, I can't believe he would like hate such a game.
It was so weird.
Like,
Like he literally said it was just like the like he's not. Fuck, I can't do this joke. Don't mind me. Cut that out.
It's an uncut podcast, right?
It's an uncut podcast, okay? Get it together. Trying to prepare you for YouTube.
Trying to compare you.
No, no, I'm not.
Not ready. Yeah, dude. Last of Us Part 2 looks legit. That little like gameplay demo has me skeptical because it did look very scripted as far as some of the things that were going on.
Yeah.
But if the game plays anything like that, you know, without the scripted parts, it looks legit.
Yeah, like the scripted part was probably like when Ellie was like dodging like near the car or whatever. Like,
Yeah, it could have been a number of things. I mean, just even like the last part with the last dude, like taking arrows out of the people. Like I don't know, just any number of things. I only watched that when it came out, so there were some part. I am the one thing. The one thing that I am excited for, though, that they showed very briefly, which I could see easily being a definite part of the game, is when she was laying down in the grass. That looked dope. Or the like brush, whatever it was. You know how like in Assassin's Creed you can like crouch in like shrubbery or something and it'll cloak you. Yeah. It looked very similar to that, but she's like laying down, and I was like, oh that's hot. That's hot.
Oh, that's hot.
So that looked pretty sick.
Yeah, I never played the original.
You didn't play the original, dude? It's pretty Gucci.
Yeah,
that one I
game
feel
of the
like,
year, pretty sure.
That one I feel like changed the way that I look at games as far as like story experiences. You know, before games were just like, oh, yeah.
the script silence.
Yeah, no, that one changed the way I looked at, you know, story told games. And there was games like, you know, Uncharted and stuff beforehand, but I had never played those before playing The Last of Us.
Yeah, Naughty Dog's really good at storytelling, from what I know.
It was nominal.
Oh my god, Uncharted, dude. Oh. That's from Naughty Dogs too, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, Naughty Dog
Uncharted 4 was so beautiful, man. That game was so awesome.
Dude, their gameplay reveal demo or whatever at a convention, I think it was E3, they did a gameplay reveal, and the guy playing it experienced a glitch on the gameplay reveal that involved him getting stuck and nothing was happening. There was no like story beats happening at all. He was just stuck in a market and people were just like frozen in place. It was super weird.
Wait, for what game?
Uncharted 4.
Really?
Like the gameplay reveal, I believe. There was like a big glitch that happened and the game would just stop working correctly during the reveal. I don't know the specifics, but yeah, it was a gold nugget.
Dude, I think I found it.
That bark came through so clear.
That's Saki. He's not happy.
Hello? I think I found it. Yeah. He's just chilling there for like a minute, dude.
The gameplay reveal, dude. How it couldn't happen at a worse time.
Yeah, we passed all of our glitches, you know. Freaking reveals it. Fuck.
Awkward.
They made a new one.
Anyway, Last of Us 2 is. I don't have a connection to the franchise. I'll try it at some point. I don't play zombie games very often. I have a couple of them that I play. That's why you're a
sad boy.
Dude, I'm always sad. It doesn't matter whether or not I'm playing a zombie game.
Well, you say you never play zombie games, so exactly, it makes perfect sense now.
I'm pretty sure there are other sad people that don't play zombie games.
Exactly, they're not with the program.
Or that do, rather.
No, it doesn't exist. It's all a lie. It was well written.
You're a lie. Anyway, I can see the value in Last of Us, the franchise, because I know that it tells its story well. I've seen enough of it to know. I've heard enough about it to know. I don't know. I just hope that they keep going with Last of Us 2. A lot of the writers and stuff have left since Last of Us came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that Last of Us 2 doesn't take a hit from that.
What's crazy though is Last of Us 2 wasn't even supposed to happen. When the first Last of Us came out, they were like, no, this was pretty much just a self-contained story.
Yeah. Exactly.
We want to leave it the way it is. And then they're making this one. So it's really, you know, I'm really curious to see how it'll turn out, you know, as far as keeping that same impact that, you know, the first one had. I mean, dude, even within the first like 30 minutes with the freaking spoiler alert with the daughter dying.
Okay, that game came out like 5 years ago.
Yo, there's people who
like
used to say spoiler alert for the first Scarface, okay? So
he dies at the end.
So
yeah, dude, it came out 6 years ago.
So yeah, just I'm curious to see how they'll keep up that, you know, rapport
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm curious to see too. Hoping that it succeeds. And that would mean that people are still hungry for single player games.
Of course.
Yeah, which is crazy when you have, like EA arguing that
Ugh.
single player games are dead, and the most successful games this year or last year were single player games.
Dude,
So
that whole EA thing really has me worried. Titanfall 2 came out a couple of years ago, and the release for that was so bunked. In fact, there's evidence to suggest that they released it right before the Infinite Warfare, just because they wanted to throw off Call of Duty sales. There's evidence of that. They bunked the release of it, and they're using the fact that it had a one player single player campaign as a reason that it didn't succeed very well. Like, even though, from all I know, Titanfall 2 had one of the best single player campaigns in a first person shooter in a long time. EA is saying that, and then they came out with Apex Legends recently, which we were actually just playing a little bit ago.
Yes, sir.
It is a really fun game, and
amazing game.
Succeeding. It's succeeding in a lot of ways where Titanfall 2 didn't. And EA is going to see that, and they're going to, their thought about single-player games not being something players want is going to...
Supposedly, Respawn stated that EA had no hand in Apex Legends.
Yeah, that might be true, but, Apex Legends is a multiplayer game, not a single-player game.
Yeah.
And EA is going to see that, and that's going to reinforce in the minds of a lot of game developers that EA is right, even though they're not. I don't know. I'm kind of worried.
No, I don't think so, because games like God of War and Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption reinforce single-player games are still, not a better experience, but maybe a more wholesome experience as far as that's what you get. As far as these multiplayer games and the more, recent battle royale games, dude, they're like money pots. Like, as soon as you start playing one, you get so invested. Whereas when you pay for a game like God of War, that's pretty much what you get. You don't get anything else outside of that. So maybe that'll show that online games are more profitable, but not, the way to go. You know what I mean?
That's what a lot of big publishers are thinking about, though, is how much of the dough they're going to make by just doing the least amount of work possible.
Yeah.
A lot of people want single-player games. I don't really play single-player games. I sometimes do, but most of what I do is multiplayer. But I can get the merit of single-player games. They tell stories, and it's a lot easier to tell a good story single-player game than it is a multiplayer. Multiplayer game is about the interaction between people over an internet connection.
Bro, who likes people? What are you talking about?
The multiplayer just keeps the longevity of the game.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, multiplayer allows you to introduce microtransactions and updates and just keep it going. It's more replayable for people in general.
Yeah,
because right now I haven't really been playing Red Dead Redemption, even though that was my favorite game of last year. It has no replayability to me. Even the online, I think the reason that they have it labeled as beta is because there's really nothing to do, so it's not like, this is the finished product. They're kind of caught in a corner.
We need more single player stories.
Yeah.
Some game developers aren't going to think that because they don't make as much money. And this whole Titanfall 2 Apex Legends thing is going to reinforce that in some people, and that's just what I was saying.
Yeah, dude, that game is so great. So
it is fucking fun, dude. I never played Titanfall 2, but apparently Apex has a lot of similarities in gameplay. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just voicing my concern. There's a lot of good single-player games that have come out within the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But,
definitely. Right now, my favorite one, this is what I'm keep saying it, is Resident Evil 2, dude. That game is so awesome. I'm literally watching the gameplay of someone playing it right now, dude. I love that game so much. I'm replaying it again tomorrow, but the B playthrough, I think that's so cool that you play it once and then you play either Claire or Leon's, whoever you play the first time, and then you get a different endings and a different story back that kind of correlates with the first game you played,
Yeah,
and that's where Red Dead Redemption I think has that where certain aspects of how you play can change the ending. There's games that are doing that now to, like, hey, if you want to try it again, you could go back and replay it. I think we even touched on this on the like Telltale Games podcast.
I slept through half of that.
But what do you call it? Yeah, I think it just, you have to find that niche. If you like games, like all the games that I listed are confirmed as pretty much being single player. None of them, except for maybe Last of Us Part 2.
I actually didn't make that connection. A lot of the games we've gone over are primarily single player games.
They're pretty much single player experiences. But I think that's pretty much, I would think maybe that's pretty much because these are what we're looking forward to. There's going to be games that we know for sure, yeah, we're going to play them, the multiplayer experience games. But as far as like actually looking forward to and anticipating, like the single player ones are right now, yeah, pretty much all that's on my list.
Yeah, basically all multiplayer. No, I mean all single player games are on my list. Like I don't have any.
Dude, they've done Resident Evil multiplayer, the Umbrella Corps or whatever, and that game, from what I know, sucks massive ass.
What, Umbrella City?
No, Umbrella Corps or whatever it is. Like, you play as Umbrella agents, and it's just multiplayer, and there's zombies in it that you can use kind of as tools to your advantage, but like the gameplay is so clunky, and there's so many like bugs and glitches, and it looks so bad.
It already has bad reviews. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, from what I know, it sucks. Massive dong. It's a cash grab, dude.
Why is it?
Not gonna lie.
Why does it look so bad for a 2016 game?
Because, I mean, to be fair, 2016 played host to a lot of bad games, but yeah, I mean, trying to turn a beloved single-player franchise into a really soulless cash grab of a multiplayer experience is a bad idea that no one should emulate.
Like, the only thing like that online that would work with Resident Evil was co-op. I wish they had co-op in Resident Evil 2.
Dude, to be honest, if they made a Left 4 Dead style experience set in the Resident Evil universe, I would play that.
What do you mean?
You know how Left 4 Dead works. You have like, it's a 4-player co-op game.
Yeah.
There's like a mode where you can verse people playing as certain types of zombies. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
What, so 4-on-4 but Resident Evil 2?
Yeah, kinda. Like, if they made a game that was like styled that way, but in the Resident Evil universe,
Instead of a tank, Mr.
like,
X.
I don't know if that would be fair. But like, if they made different zombie types, because the T virus in the universe, like,
yeah.
dude, no, like over the course of the franchise, there's been different types of zombies.
I'm just saying, like, how it is right now, Resident Evil 2. There's only like.
I'm not talking about Resident Evil 2 multiplayer. I'm talking about Resident Evil multiplayer, like in the universe. Because like by the end of, and I'm gonna say it, by the end of Resident Evil 6, there's like 20 different types of zombies. That was a fun game, by the way. It sucked as a Resident Evil game and even as an action game, but like there was enough fun to be had in that game that a friend and I played that.
I only play that game because Leon does kung fu on that.
Dude, the fucking characters in that game have thighs of like tanks because they can kick and knock over 18 zombies with one kick.
Yeah, for real.
Kill and fucking kill.
And that one guy, I forgot, who was kind of bald, he freaking throws up an apple and like kills a bunch of freaking badass.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, if they made like a good Resident Evil multiplayer game in the style of Left 4 Dead, I would play that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It has to be done right, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Not every game is done right,
This is a weird derailment. We're talking about games we're anticipating, right?
No, but I think that's a fair, conversation to be had because, like,
yes,
the implementation of multiplayer within these games, like maybe Last of Us Part 2 will have, the same implementation that the first Last of Us had with its multiplayer.
Last of Us is so dope.
And CD Projekt Red has been, kind of shutting down the possibility of multiplayer, but they've really said is that all we're focusing right now is single player. So there could be a possibility of multiplayer in that, so I think that's a fair argument to bring up multiplayer in these primarily single player experiences.
Yeah,
dude, if they came out with like Cyberpunk as just a single player game and then later released like a game mode that was like multiplayer or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
like if they did it right, that'd be pretty fun. I don't even know how the gameplay is going to work in Cyberpunk yet, so we can't really get over our heads here. But that is an exciting prospect.
I think maybe they would just need to go back to the original source material. Cyberpunk started out as a tabletop game, a tabletop RPG experience.
Yeah, now that you say
so maybe if they implemented that in a virtual setting, they could probably pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they made Titanfall into a BR, so anything is possible at this point.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Dude,
you just got to have the right idea.
That was definitely done right. Oh my god.
I want to play more of that after this, by the way.
Yeah,
we should be able to. My match isn't until 8.
So you guys want to just end it here? We're already at almost an hour.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I got food waiting for me.
I just also want to mention real quick, Squadron 42. That's a single player experience being developed by Cloud Imperium Games, which is a spin-off from their Star Citizen universe, which is a crowdfunded game, the highest crowdfunded game ever. It's got a little controversy around it right now with the whole 27,000 buy everything in the game thing. But yeah, Squadron 42 looks really dope. It's got a whole bunch of actors: Craig Fairbrass, Michael. Is it Michael? No, Ben Mendelsohn, Mark Hamill, freaking Gary Oldman. There's a bunch of like high tier actors in that. It looks to be almost like a Halo-esque experience. Like, so that one definitely is also pretty dope. I'm just excited for it just because of the actors. I'm such a movie buff. I knew all the actors. Like, oh my god, that's him, that's her. So I was extremely excited once I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah.
All right. Before we quit this, there's a couple of games we didn't bring up, and I just want to mention them.
Yeah, dude.
That deserve a bit of a mention. There is Anthem coming out on the 22nd. It looks good.
Yes.
I'm worried because EA, but I've heard that it's very good. I've seen some gameplay of it. It looks really fun. Aside from that, there is Devil May Cry 5, which I can't believe none of us mentioned, coming out on March 8th. I've never been a big Devil May Cry fan, but apparently it's a really fun series, really wacky, really fun, big swords, yada yada yada. Sekiro: Shadow Dies Twice, FromSoft's new game, coming out on March 22nd. Souls-like, from what I know. It's very different from the Souls series. There's different aspects to it. Yeah, it's a thing. FromSoft's new game. It looks like it's like a pseudo remake of Final Fantasy VII, coming out on, what is it? Oh, Xbox One. What the hell is this? Final Fantasy VII Zodiac Age.
I haven't heard about that.
It is, yes, Squeenix made this. I don't know what the hell it is.
Talk about game with big swords.
Yeah, for real. Wait, what? What the hell? This is the remaster. This is the remaster
of the original. This
is the Final Fantasy. Wait. Yeah, this is okay, so I'm reading this. Final Fantasy VII Zodiac Age improves upon the 2006 classic Final Fantasy VII, now more beautiful and easier to play than ever.
No, that's not right.
No, it's not. That's 2006.
Came out 2006, yeah. Came out in 1997.
Why does it say 2006 classic Final Fantasy VII? That's weird. Maybe it's a remaster of a remake? I don't know.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, that's a thing. It might be the remake. It might not be. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, that's what's kind of crazy is that I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan because my dad played it when he was pretty much my age. But I'm not a fan of like the whole franchise as a whole. I'm just a fan of that game. So
Yeah,
it's
there's-
like
there's a lot
I
of
don't know
people like
anything. I don't know anything else about the Final Fantasy franchise.
I don't know what it
more
is.
about Kingdom Hearts.
It's coming out on Xbox One, April 30th. I skipped over it, but there's a new Dragon's Dogma game coming out on 23rd. I've never played it, but that's a thing. Rage 2 we talked about. There's a oh boy, pardon me, Shenmue 3 coming out on August 27th.
Shenmue.
That's a thing.
I need
Apparently
my
that's a
sleeping
classic.
dogs too.
It's like a classic Sega RPG, isn't it?
It's like a freaking
Like an open world
It's like
RPG.
a Asian GTA.
Yeah, Asian GTA. Yeah.
That's literally what it is. Like, you ever heard Sleeping Dogs? That game.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't care what anybody says. Don't at me. That's a million times better than GTA.
That is a good game. Yeah, I've never played it, but I've heard that it's good.
Way better than GTA.
And then there's a couple of delayed games. Code Vein. It's like an anime vampire hunter Souls-like game.
Mm-hmm.
Was gonna come out on the 28th, but it's been pushed back. And apparently Overkill's Walking Dead, but on console.
Yeah.
Those
I
are the
wanna
only
play the
things
game.
I can see that I think are mentionable. I think we've gone over everything. There's like a Team Sonic racing game coming out May 21st, but
Oh.
who cares? There's an Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD remaster coming out April 16th. There's a couple other games. Like, we may have skimmed over something just that we're unaware of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think something else to be clarified is for my list in particular, none of the games that I've listed have release dates. And I'm pretty sure you guys were good on whenever you brought up a game that is set to be released this year, you pretty much said the date. But Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 2, Final Fantasy VII.
I'm calling November for Last of Us 2.
None of them have confirmed release dates. So that's another thing, you know, not to expect maybe for 2019 for some of those games.
Last of Us 2 is going to be October, November con, right?
Yeah, there is a huge portion of quarter four that's empty. So we could definitely bet, you know, on some of these being, I would say, yeah, Last of Us Part 2, maybe Ghost of Tsushima, but not both of them because they're both PlayStation exclusives.
We have tons of games that are like dead set releasing February, March, like February through April, and then maybe a little bit of May and June, and then we have some stuff August through September, but like it looks really empty. The only things I can find past June are Shenmue 3, a game called MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. Oh, wait, that's a MechWarrior game. Fuck, I should have mentioned that. And then the delayed games I mentioned before. Those are the only games that are coming up on this list that are coming up, or that are coming out after June.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room for release dates coming up there. Yeah, we might have missed something. So, yeah. We've gone over the big things, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
For show.
So, is that about it?
I think so.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Yeah.
No, I was saying, like, if I had to pick, like, seasons or month, for, like, I feel like maybe Cyberpunk would either be in a summer or fall, and Ghost Human would be summer or fall. They would switch off, you know.
I would say winter. I'm gonna say winter season for. Cyberpunk.
I say winter to fall for Last of Us.
I really don't believe Cyberpunk will be releasing this year, only because CD Projekt Red has been very adamant on we're releasing this game when it's ready. Yeah, and maybe. although they've also come out and said that the game is playable from start to finish right now, that means nothing, dude. You could watch so many movies from start to finish, but that doesn't mean there's post production in that, you know.
Yeah, just because it's playable doesn't mean that it's enjoyable to play, or that it has no bugs, or that the writing is fully done.
Yeah,
probably fully done, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the first thing to get done, the writing.
So yeah, I'm really I mean, if it comes out this year, that'd be sick. It'd be less wait time, but I really have faith in them, and I hope that they, take their time and really put the love and respect that that game deserves.
They've harvested a lot of trust over the years.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited for all of them. I hope we get them as soon as possible within reason. But yeah, dude, it's freaking can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely got to make some content on those games coming out for sure. I want to be able to
Yeah,
record
dude.
all those games, but like I'm broke right now, so I'm desperately looking for a job so I can play all these games.
Please, guys, stay here to keep track of Mortal Man's progress when he's doing the playthroughs and the reactions and all that. Awesome content as far as that goes. He's doing his Resident Evil right now. Some meme worthy stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely. Right now, I finished I finished Resident Evil 2, but I'm doing the second playthrough starting tomorrow, because I think the last part is uploading. What is today? Is today Thursday or Friday?
Today is Friday.
So I think the ending for Resident Evil 2 is going to be uploaded on Sunday. So by the time I think I'm upload this, then Resident Evil, so that's like kind of like, since I'm talking about it now, and then I'm gonna play the second part, which is Claire. Totally irrelevant, super beautiful character. Just saying.
Nervous laughter.
Yeah, 'cause I know I'm being silently judged right now.
All right, then. I guess this is the outro. I'm just.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for watching this Gamers Corner. If you guys enjoyed, you guys like, comment, subscribe. Stay hydrated, out and pass in peace, and Excelsior.
Yo, why'd you steal that from me, man?
I didn't steal anything.
Let them pass a piece of Excelsior, Linda. Stay hydrated.
It's me and